We're on the Suffocation Pit with a Plague, and I am joined by none other than Guildspire. Welcome back. How's your break?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just getting everything set up pretty quickly as those were back-to-back matches. And
they were.
We came off the tail end of a very intense match on the Dead Dog Saloon, and now we are here with the Plague, the Vommy Mommy, going to be on the Suffocation Pit.
And, do my eyes deceive me? Is that a 5-gen on the Suffocation Pit side?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how the survivors manage that, especially with the hematite seal being in play, as that is going to extend the duration of infection by 30 seconds.
Oh, these survivors are going to be so dead. Sorry, I'm not counting them out right now. Okay, folks, I am not counting these survivors out, but a 5-gen against the Plague, and they can't even touch the two that she's working on because it's like, that's what, 90 seconds of infection, or is it, was it 70 seconds?
I want to say that is 90 seconds in total.
Yeah, yeah, look at these survivors. They're like, yeah, we're not going to get around this. We just need to start doing gens. And honestly, not much else they can do. Just go for it. Honestly, you die more often when you hesitate than not taking action. So, props to these survivors. However, Cheryl is already infected. It looks to go down in mid here before the Angel Paladin. That is going to be a very early start for this Plague.
Yeah, no, really solid hit right there. Full infection on two other survivors. Do you want to mention no sign of a thanatophobia? Instead, we got ourselves in agitation, and I think you know what that means. Very likely a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance. But
are you sure it's not a monster shrine?
And, well, that is banned, so I'd hope the hell not. But surprisingly,
yeah.
No regression on the gen, just Plague bringing him back into that 3-gen there, wanting to make it more difficult for the survivors to do much of anything.
Oh my goodness, look at this 3-gen though. I mean, yes, you don't have like, you know, line of sight on the back one, but that is, these gens are crammed back in this corner. That's disgusting.
Yeah, gonna be very difficult for survivors to play around this. I think the biggest thing that they can do is just do the gens on the opposite side of the map as quickly as possible, then try and just break into this 5-gen slowly but surely. It's going to require them to cleanse bit by bit by bit over time. The question is whether or not that will work out in their favor now that they have a hook in the back of their 3-gen.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, one thing is interesting. One of these survivors is not infected yet, which makes me think they might be trying to sneak Michaela back here for this unhook. First gen going down though, so survivors are definitely pounding out gens. However, ooh, taking a drink on that corrupt purge. Again, I'm so surprised that it's weird not seeing the Devotee's Amulet.
Yeah, Devotee's Amulet is definitely a tried and true staple. Sounds like there's some progress here on this back gen. But the Fang Min going down to the Plague. We do see Crows there in the middle trying to make their way away from the Plague, and that is another injured survivor, so that's the ace. Michaela's still nowhere to be seen.
Honestly, let that, I don't know, I'd go after the ace. Let that unhook happen. Down ace, you've got a slug in the back, you've got someone to unhook. This Michaela's gonna get infected in the process. Like, this play, the 5-gen was a brutal, you know, wake-up call, but honestly, this is snowball territory, folks. You've got a slug in the back. This person's about 20 seconds left on hook, and Ace has to cleanse unless Michaela makes a heroic entry here.
Yeah, but even then, if she's making her way all the way from Shaq's side, there's no way she gets there in time. So I think they are going to let the survivor die on hook, and looks like Fang Min is next.
Does seem to be the case. Now the question is, where's the other pool? Wait, did both of her pools also spawn in the 5-gen?
Yeah, both of the pools did indeed spawn back there, so a really rough situation. Looks like Plague gonna be bringing them over towards Shaq's side now. This time it is, in fact, a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, regressing most progressed gen by 25%. It looks like it was the gen here that the Michaela's working on. Yep,
and Michaela getting pushed off of that. I'm wondering if survivors are just like, screw this, cut our losses, try and jam some gens, maybe get 2 more, maybe... I think at this point, the miracle scenario is 4 gens done. Okay, I said the miracle scenario yesterday, and the survivors said never proved me wrong, but I don't know how you get out of this. It's a 3v1 on Suffo, and you have no gen pressure.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to say the least. That being said, Play going to be pushing Michaela back over towards the main side. Michaela may be making the conscious choice to drag them away, but looks like they're going to stick here in the middle jungle gyms. No unhook so far from the Ace, though we do see scratch marks there as the Plague did peek over. I'm not sure if they saw him, though.
I don't know if they did. If they did, that doesn't look concerning to them. Actually, no, they looked behind. They didn't expect that. So I guess they did miss it. And Michaela doing a really good job in the back here, but yeah, not going to be able to finish this. Yeah, you do have your corrupt. Oh, man. Having both your corrupt on the 5-gen side is so disgusting. I imagine they'll finish that hill gen that was being worked on by Michaela earlier. But I don't know how you finish after that, because all Plague has to do is come back here. Now, it would be interesting, because we don't know as spectators what the Scourge hooks are. I'm wondering if there's no Scourge hooks on this side. That might also be the case.
I mean, that would make a lot of sense based on the fact that Plague was unable to get them to it, and a long-range blind shot from the Plague. And we do see additional scratch marks here. Who is that is the question. Looks like that may have been a glimpse of an... No, it's the Fang Min. That's the worst-case scenario here.
Oh, no. And you've still got another 20 seconds of your power, potentially, if they get the distance. Oh my goodness, just around the corner. And they did see the Ace back here. Ace was working on this gen. Ace has to get out of the sight. We see scratch mark in the distance, pick this gen. 4-man slug incoming. Blast mine, not the most valuable one, of course.
I mean, in this case, it gets Ace a little bit of distance for what it's worth, but fact matter is that Ace is going to be coughing up a storm, going to be leaving a trail of blood, though we do see the pickup on Michaela, so Ace was able to make it work in their favor, bring these survivors back into the mix.
About to say, I did not realize that he was able to sneak past choke point. I didn't think the 5 seconds of blast mine was going to get you past choke point. That's honestly kind of impressive. Well done. And wait, I thought they went to second hook.
They did not, apparently, and we do see a gen broken into the 5-gen there, so now it's possible to see 3 gens complete. We still saw that gen on the hill that Michaela and Ace were working on with a decent amount of progression, so it's looking more like maybe 3 gens completed. That 4th gen, maybe not so far away as you thought.
Again, I still think the survivors pull a rabbit out of the hat to get that 4th gen done, but you're right, it is looking viable now that they did get a gen in the corner done. Again, freaking fortunate. Oh, an Ace getting caught out here unaware. Ooh, is that a bamboozle?
That was, in fact, a bamboozle. It was revealed earlier, but definitely getting some value there as Ace will be put up on the hook, and that there Ace Scourge Hook, Pain Resonance. Now 2 survivors on the hook. Things are looking grim, but we do see Michaela get the unhook there, unless the Fangman able to set up a amazing chase here. Gonna be difficult for these survivors to rally back. That being said, Michaela going down. Lupin of Friends, not exactly the best of choices as we see here today.
Yeah, that did not work out in their favor, and Fang getting chased to the far side of the map with 1 slug and 1 on hook. I don't know how they get out of this, especially with no unbreakable, correct? I believe that is banned against Plague.
That is correct. Yeah, no unbreakable here for the survivors, so gonna come down to this final chase, and if somehow the survivor able to rally back and get to a pickup, but gonna be a little bit difficult with the Plague on your tail.
Just a little bit. Fang doing a good job, but especially with the addition of Bamboozle to help out this Plague's chase. However, are they just gonna... Okay, they're Bloodlust Gamer. I'm into it. I mean, you might as well, right?
Exactly. I mean, at this point in time, no reason not to. You already have Bloodlust 2, Bloodlust 3 incoming, though Pallet gonna be coming in for the Fangman. Will drop it, but Plague not even gonna bother breaking it and just Bloodlust them down.
Exactly. If you obviously you break a pallet, you do anything to break Bloodlust at that point. Survivor's out of your sight for maybe 10 seconds. That's enough for a pickup and potentially a snowball if you get the pickup, because isn't Soul Guard allowed? I think Soul Guard
is in this case, but no chances of being picked up with Soul Guard, as there are no hexes in play.
Indeed, and that will be the 4K at 3 gens remaining, it looks like, unless there is a bleed out on a fresh survivor.
That is a real possibility, and yeah, looking at Michaela, they are fresh, so that would be 3 points missed out if an instance that occurs. That being said, we have roughly maybe a minute 30, maybe a minute 45 before that happens. We'll take a look and see if we can find Michaela but Plague gonna be closing the hatch first off and foremost. No adrenaline in play either.
Indeed. So, funny enough, if the Survivor bleeds out, the point differential is going to be the same as if they got 4 gens done, and maybe one Survivor escaping with a hatch via one stage. So, you know, somehow, miraculously, it might actually end up happening.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Plague really out on the prowl trying to find where this Michaela might have gone. But Suffocation Pit's a large map of a lot of nooks and crannies to search, and so far, no sign of them.
Indeed, that's less than a minute left. They they found her. Oh, unfortunate.
Unfortunate indeed, but that there will be the 4K for the Plague and Dark Owls with only, what is that? Was that 3 gens completed, right?
That was 3 gens, no, 3 gens remaining.
3 gens remaining.
They never got the hill gen done.
Oh, that's right. They got the gen back here in the 5 gen, but never got the hill gen.
Yep, the pain resonance was too strong. All right, everyone, welcome back to trial number 2, the return of the Plague. This time with 30% less 5 gens.
Yeah, that is a solid 3 gen plus a pool. I was thinking maybe a 4 gen, but the pool kind of blended into the generator. We do see this time the Devotee's Amulet as well as the Blessed Apple.
I do like me some Devotee's Amulet. That 60 full seconds of camping potential when you drink up is so good. And yeah, you're right. That pool is very perfectly placed behind this corrupted gen. However, so was this Survivor who got disturbed and is now going to leave the area, but not before taking a little bit of puke on the pack. And Plague is going to go for, I believe this is the Ace? No, Dwight. Hello, Dwight.
Yeah, it sometimes can get a bit confusing with all the cosmetics. That being said, Dwight now in chase are not just yet, but Plague trying to get the mind game nonetheless, and will end up vaulting here as we do hear a Bamboozle come into play.
Indeed, but the Survivor does manage to dodge. I think they... Oh, I don't think they were able to infect the pallet there. I think that's what they're trying to go for. And instead, just looking around here, there was a Survivor back here, so Survivors have spread out a bit across the map, though I imagine we're not going to see hide nor hair of them in a minute. And yeah, Dwight just taking them to the other side of the map. Again, not getting the infection on the pallet, I don't think. I'm not seeing the infectious score event.
Yep, you would be correct. Just a little bit too high there, going right over the pallet. And looks like Dwight here going to stick here at this filler tile, doing a great job at keeping the Plague guessing as we see 2 whiffs there. Plague finally going to infect the pallet, knowing full well that they're going to have to eat it in order to get an injury here.
All right, so I got a question for you, and it's not anything to do with Dwight right now, because Dwight taking a hit in the back and running back in the middle. Adam got infected at the beginning and has not been fully infected. Are they just walking?
Yep, more likely not. That's exactly what is happening. For those of you who do not know, if you walk or just for all intent and purposes stand still, the infection rate on the Survivor will not progress. So really important note to say the least, as we now see what looks to be the Ace here with a sprint burst, I do believe, getting them a little bit of distance.
A little bit of distance, but not able to avoid the infection. And now Plague, feeling the pressure, is going to drink up. And to be fair, a gen hasn't quite popped yet. There's the infection. I was waiting so long for Adam to get infected. But now taking chase with their corrupted hand. Ooh, I thought that was going to be a stun. I was so scared for our Plague.
You know what it may be, and I'm just now looking at this, I think Adam may in fact have had an urban evasion.
Really?
Because if you're crouching, then I don't believe it's going to progress it, but your crouch speed has increased. Now, I think you could do the same thing with self-aware, and your walk speed would be increased and not progress your infection as well. So I think that's exactly what's happening, either self-aware or urban evasion.
It's a very good chance. But again, that means that Survivor for that period of time really wasn't doing gens or anything significant there. And this Ace is doing a whole lot of work with this shack side. They have essentially wasted almost the entirety of the power. There's the second gen going down, missing the M1. Now, they will go down eventually due to the fact they just, you get distance, but that is first. Like, this is the tie condition already, and I'm not sure what Plague can do. I think Plague just has to play this out normally and hope that they can hold it to, not an abysmal score if it comes down to tiebreak.
Yeah, I think that is the most likely scenario here. Survivor's already cleansing, which tells me that they are primed and ready for the win condition, if not the last 2 gens getting completed. Do you want to note that that was, in fact, a Pop Goes the Weasel, regressing that gen by 30% of its current progression. But yeah, normally when you start seeing Survivors start to cleanse, it means that they are primed and ready for an escape.
Well, either that, or if you're looking at the other side of the map, there's only really one gen over there that you care about. So they're cleansing in a place where Plague, if she walks 30 seconds to get there and then 30 seconds back, I feel like she's already lost the game if she went to pick up the puke. So I think those are just free cleanses almost if you want to be, devil's advocate.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would be of the same opinion, though it looks like we do, in fact, see the Adam back here. Plague gonna go for the chase. Looks like David was the one to go for the unhook, as we do see them infected off of the ace. And looks like we will grab a pool of devotion, as they are now going to try and chase the Adam down.
But to say, I feel like this chase is pretty free for the Survivors. That, like, you're chasing on the side of the map where they have no generators that they care about. Even Adam, though, I think the one he was working on. Oh, I'd be balding.
That is always heartbreaking. Like, you have to give behavior credit where credit's due. That, like, the way they've done the Plague's, like, vomit physics, like, really precise. Like, almost more precise than Deathslinger's hitboxes. But because of that, it ends up in those really awkward scenarios where you can do a line of vomit onto a Survivor and it just barely misses them.
Indeed. Worth noting, that was a pain resonance hook, by the way. So we know all the perks now, so no way out.
Yep, no way out. Plague, realizing the win condition was going to be solely on gens and gens alone, and right now they are holding the tie condition. Those Survivors complete one more generator, that there will be victory here for Tremor in set number 1.
That it will, and oh, that's actually a hit. But to say, David doubled back into that, and there's another Survivor behind here. If it's the ace, it is the ace. If they get this lucky string of vomit, or the M1, but they get the unhook on Adam back there. There is a little bit of pressure mounting, so I'm very curious how much gen pressure these Survivors had, because they had a lot of free time.
Yeah, that's the question of the day. However, another Scourge Hook Pain Resonance coming in, so that's going to be another 25% regression. So Plague's pressure is starting to mount more and more. The Pop Scourge Hook duo going to be doing a whole lot of work on these generators, especially now as they are going to miss a skill check, it looks like, on that gen. 10% off that gen, and scratch marks going away towards the unhook, it looked like.
It did look like they were going to us. Another question is, did they double back and leave it after they noticed the play coming in? I'm not sure. Yeah, try it. There's a Survivor back here somewhere. Oh, but the blast mine's gonna cost them. I'm curious if the unhook's gonna occur because of that blast mine. That might have been what they were waiting for. No scratch mark still. Is this gonna be like the Huntress match yesterday, where the Huntress had like 4 gens done before they got any lethality, but then just snowballed out of control with pain res?
I mean, it's not the wrong possibility, especially as these Survivors cleansing, and this Plague does not seem all too concerned about going back to this gen. If the gen was completed, that'd be one thing, but the Plague able to kind of protect this gen while also get their Corrupt Purge is another thing entirely. We do see the breach up there from the ace, the Plague unable to get the hit, though.
So one thing worth noting, we were talking about the Plague physics earlier. For y'all that don't know, Behavior actually made a video when Plague, but there's the win condition. But yeah, Plague, they made a video about how they designed Plague in the process when she came out, and how they programmed her vomit physics. Oh my goodness, that was a beautiful hit. Speaking of physics.
Yep, really clean hit there, to say the least. And yeah, that's one of the things, like, Plague is probably one of the most intricate killer powers that Behavior has designed, and
Absolutely.
It's something that I very much do appreciate. And we see that here very clearly in COTF, as Plague has one of the highest kill rates of any killer, even beyond that of some of the S tiers. So they are quite the force to be reckoned with. That being said, Tremor will walk away victorious here in set number 1. At this point in time, Plague and Dark Owl is just trying to ensure that the win condition is not too far away in the instance they do go to a set 3.
About to say, for those who don't know, essentially for every gen completed here on out, that is 2 more points that the opposing team will have to make up in tiebreakers, which essentially means that, you know, in set 3, you have to beat, you know, a 4-stage 2K, all of a sudden, or I'm sorry, a 4K 2 gens rating. You have to do more generators. Like, it just makes it so much exponentially worse, which is what we saw yesterday when they had to overcome a 24-point deficit. That's awful. They did really close, but it was still awful. It's very difficult to do.
Indeed, indeed. That being said, Plague trying to do a little bit of mind game there on the David. Not able to do anything, though, as David going to be holding that corner pretty well. Going back into the jungle gym here in the middle, and looks like they are going to get a whole lot of distance. These last 2 generators, I imagine, going to be going pretty quickly, and the fake at the window, expertly done there. And now we are going to be going back towards Shaq's side, but looks like David will run out. No! The fast vault coming in. Now, reminder, that does go away with the Alien chapter coming out here on Tuesday, but 5th gen done. Exegate's now powered. Looking like a 1K, maybe 6 hook here.
Possibly. I don't remember if has David been hooked yet?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I was just thinking about that too. I was like, I'm not sure it's going to be a 1K6 hook or a 1K7.
I'm not sure, but regardless, this David did a phenomenal job looping in the center there and gave their team ample time to finish those last 2 generators. And again, that window fake, that was a legendary window fake. That was disgusting.
And really well played there by both sides. Looks like 1 survivor out. The last 2 taking their time, but that there will be the 1K6 hook here for Dark Owls. And once again, Tremor walking away victorious here in set number 1. We are going to get set number 2 set up in just 1 moment. But before we do remind everyone here today that we are partnered with Pugdom.
Oh boy, it's going to be a whole lot more Wraith action. I have seen a lot of Wraith today already, as we had a couple trials earlier in the day. Oh my goodness, and look at this rat's nest of survivors. Oh, these survivors are going to have to split to the hills, as I expect this M1 is going to come with a miss?
Wraith in a little bit of disbelief too, but that is in fact the current fast vault animation coming into play. But Wraith doing a fantastic job, going to be blocking that pallet and getting the hit on the Dwight, which will reveal the likes of a sloppy butcher.
And a bamboozle to boot, making sure that they get no distance here. And oh wow, that was there they go. Look at him go, denying that. Ooh. Okay, so it's Swift Hunt and Shadow Dance. I thought it was Swift Hunt and Windstorm for some reason. I don't know why.
Nope, no Windstorm no more. At least not found on most Wraiths. Instead, going to be getting a swing and miss there at this pallet. Looks like we will see the Zarina coming in for a body block as well.
It looks like that might have even been a live play to boot, but they will take a tag regardless. However, now you've gotten the survivor into main building, and there are no resources that have been broken yet. However, Shadow Dance and oh, I didn't hear that drop. That was a really good anticipation on the Wraith, but not enough to dodge it. And now, man, look at this Dwight. Look at them go. They are absolutely just using main building up right here.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job linking it to the tile out front as well, but I think their luck may have... No, there's a pallet here, going for the swing and the hit.
Ooh, nasty little bit of a hit there, though. To be fair, I feel like since the Wraith, I don't know about you, as a killer man, I would have felt robbed at that window earlier, so I think this is just, just karmic justice here. Ooh, is that a pain res to boot and on the top of the saloon, so you know what's going on?
Yes, indeed. That was a Scourge Pain Resonance, progressing most progression by 25%. The Wraith getting a little bamboozled themselves as the scratch marks showing that the Survivor may have jumped off, while in fact they are still up top.
Oh, wow. But look at that. They finished the Galgen. Worth noting, there is no 3-gen. I think this might be one of the first times I've seen Dead Dog without a 3-gen in the map, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, definitely is an unusual sight. Normally there is a 3-gen of some form. That being said, there might be a 3-gen including the main building, but with it having that verticality, unless you're playing nurse, it really doesn't matter. And yeah, if you look at the gen spread, no, even over at main, it doesn't really look like there is. Kind of, maybe you could argue one over by Water Tower, but Adam doing a fantastic job here, blind the Wraith after the stun. and looks like they are going to stay here and will go for the insta-break with that Shadow Dance.
Indeed. I will say it does look like there's a potential, like, the 3-gen's not good. It's not a good 3-gen. And yeah, even if there was it's that 1-gen behind the building that's not really part of the Gallows 3-gen because it's so distant, but it's also not part of this 3-gen. This is a really good spread for survivors.
Oh yeah, it is definitely outside of the norm, and Wraith's going to have to put up a lot of pressure here. We see, I think it's a head-on coming in, right? No! Honestly, with the way that the survivors were setting up, that looked like a head-on, but instead we get the bamboozle here. We do see someone has disappeared. Yeah, there's the head-on from the Dwight.
Oh, no. The question is, does Dwight still have... No decisive. Okay, no decisive. Okay, you know what a big brain play, though? Is if there was 2 survivors, and so they pick the Dwight out of the locker, but then they get head-on when they take Dwight away.
Yeah, that would have definitely been the big brain move. However, that's not going to happen here, instead these survivors jamming out the gens, as we do see the 3rd gen popping off in the distance. Ace faking the pallet will take a hit, though, instead.
Indeed. So it is worth noting, I do appreciate the fact that the Wraith did pick up on that telegraph. I don't know, survivors might have telegraphed it a bit too much, but considering how much pressure they have, I don't know, I really can't be that, like, you can't be mad at them for it. And look, even for the people on the Dwight, so if they do find that survivor again, it's not going to matter too much. Oh, but they get the grab across the top, a little bit of a... I don't know, I don't know if it's, like... Honestly, it might just be wasting time at this point. Might be trying to just waste more time on this killer's part.
Yeah, it's a very real possibility. That being said, the Ace may just being a little bit too aggressive on those vaults there, but Dwight gonna be able to complete that generator. We did see a blood pool there, interestingly enough. It could have been one of the other 2 survivors, either the Zarina or the Adam. That being said, though, looks like Wraith will break the pallet and will go for the down here on Dwight with not much in the way of resources.
Not enough. Oh, I think they didn't end up swinging out of the cloak. Usually, I thought that was going to be a hit. I don't know what happened, but regardless, Dwight's going to get a breath of fresh air here, get some distance, and now maybe trying to line up another head-on. Well, everybody's injured. You can't really line up a head-on. They just know. Or, wait, no, this survivor has head-on. What am I talking about?
Yeah, it does say. Dwight is the one with head-on. Instead, I think with this open area, they might be setting up for a flashlight save, potentially, but no sign of them. Looks like that may have been... No, the Ace is the one with the toolbox. Maybe trying to threaten something, but pushing 2 injured survivors off this jet is huge for the Wraith, as they know exactly where they are and can get some pressure off this gen as well.
Absolutely. Worth noting is that they really haven't used much of their Scourge Hook so far, just Dwight, I think. And yeah, you still haven't broken... Can you afford not to break these doors when you're Wraith if you have Bamboozle? Is that okay?
Yes, with Bamboozle, absolutely, especially with Shadow Dance, as that does also increase your vault speed on top of it. So it makes a lot of sense to not break those doors. That being said, Wraith getting a little bit turned around here, caught on those corners. We did see this arena, funny enough, like clipping. I'm not sure that's a spectator bug or if Wraith could see that too, but we do see Adrenaline, it looks like, popping off with this 5th gen. Zarina getting healed, and now Wraith on the hunt for Adam.
I was about to say, that chase went on way too long over here. You knew those survivors were on the generator, but they committed. And now, I don't know what you can do as this killer. Like, maybe hope to get one more survivor. Maybe a fresh survivor. But Ace has already been hooked. If they get this survivor, it's going to be a 6-stage 2K. It's going to be 16-12 in favor of the survivors. They need to find a fresh survivor. Adam, preferably.
That being said, though, I imagine this next gate gonna be open soon, and it looks like Zarina trying to come in for the body block. Wraith trying to get around them, and just barely gonna get body blocked there. Wraith had some distance to get around, but chose to go for the swing instead, and that there will be the 3-man out here for Tremor Survivor Team.
Indeed, absolutely, just so precisely played on the survivors' part and back everyone to possibly the final trial, as these survivors have to play incredibly well. Usually, especially with Wraith on Dead Dog, I would say the average score that I see is at least a 2K. Sometimes Wraith does just, overperform and it's a 3K, but usually it's a 2K. So these survivors have to play absolutely out of their mind here. Ooh. That's step 1. Now how about 2 through 10?
I was about to say, a really good fake there by the Ace. However, they cannot make it back to that window, so they're going to try here. The fast vault there not going to be in their favor, as they will take a hit, revealing the likes of a Sloppy Butcher.
Sloppy Butcher, huh? Oh, waiting for it. The bait! The bait!
I mean, it is the set of lockers that sees head-on every single time, but there was nothing there. And Ace even just kept watching the Wraith as they just were baiting out the head-on that did not exist.
That was so well done. However, they will take the first down. Under the pallet, is there a survivor? No, there is not. Unfortunately, that'll be first hook coming in for the Ace. Survivor is not having a lot of time. That was about a minute into the game, so Survivor's not having a lot of time to work on gens, and even less so with a Scourge hook. Actually, we know the full build. We know Bamboozle, because we saw that earlier. We saw Spain Res just now.
Yep, that is the full build of Scourge Hook, Bamboozle, Corrupt, and a Sloppy Butcher. That being said, Wraith now in chase with the Steve here, and looks like they will try and make their way towards the water wheel. However, will take the hit nonetheless.
Yeah, they're gonna take the M1, and now I imagine, yeah, going back to that hook. Yeah, we see a Crow in the distance being disturbed, so they will be able to go potentially for a tunnel here, unless they call it for the people. No for the people. That is going to be a BT hit, or going for the unhooker. I mean, you got Sloppy, you got the pressure to spread. Going to the corner as well. I'm curious, why the corner there?
Yeah, not entirely certain. Maybe just trying to make more distance between them and the Ace to avoid the tunnel out. That would be my only thought, because Wraith doing exactly as I would here. Get the hit, then go for the tunnel thereafter. Though no blood here, so that could suggest that it's actually not the Ace, but instead, no, looks like it might be, as we do see blood on the drop down. Wraith uncloaking here, and that sure enough is the Ace. They
do find the Ace after all, and with the Bamboozle running right into the killer. Yeah, that's gonna be a quick second down. I don't know if they could have still have decisive. That's 2 gens already.
Well, there is no decisive against the Wraith, so that being said, no decisive here. That being said, we are going to see them cloak back up and seek out another survivor, potentially for another Scourge of Pain residence.
Okay, so I gotta... Oh, no, they found the reset point! Oh, but they finished the reset in time. Very lucky for these first one, as Yunjin will take a hit there. Steve running back towards the center of the map, and at this point, I think Cheryl's the only one that's free to go for the unhook, as that is... Steve's gonna do some work here. Oh, but the Yunjin's close by! Oh, no. This could be a snowball we're looking at. Very close.
Not a bad bait there by the Yunjin as Wraith swings through, but connects with nothing. However, Steve getting caught off before it be able to go for the unhook. And a 3rd gen popping off here for the Survivors. They're doing a fantastic job so far.
They really are. I think they're going to let this Survivor die on hook in favor of getting as much time as possible. I think what you had is, you mentioned this before, they don't want to trade the Scourge Hook Pain Resonance because they know it's just going to be more regression. Oh, but I think they missed a skill check.
Yeah, I was just going to point that out. I think that was unfortunate timing all around. The Ace very likely kicking themselves right now, as I think that was in fact a missed skill check resulting in their death, and the not even 1-for-1, just net negative trade here for the Cheryl.
Very unfortunate, as yeah, that's going to probably be another Pain Residence potentially, and yeah, that will be. Not sure what gen that is on. However, there was a survivor back here at one point. Oh, there's the head-on. Okay, they couldn't leave without getting a head-on.
I mean, it's dead dog, it's against the Wraith, it's kind of a given at this point. That being said, Steve now and Chase getting a little bit mind game though, as they will not be able to make the pallet. They will take the hit. We do see the Yunjin going in for the Hunhook on the Cheryl, and they will get there in time, but not quick enough to force the 1-for-1 exchange.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get away here, only taking a tag in the end. There's the pallet stun as well. They should be able to get to Shaq from this, and well, Wraith does have some time to work with. There's 2 gens left. Survivors are all injured. They've got to reset. This survivor right here has to do a phenomenal loop here in order to give the other survivors time. And that's step 1. They've got the back, though. They've got this entire back area to go down in.
Yeah, and so far doing a fantastic job using these battles to their advantage, getting this done on the Wraith as well. That being said, going up the gallows might be a bounce lane, but I think it might be a little bit too late. No, I think they get it, and Wraith going to disengage on the chase and instead try and find another injured survivor.
True. Worth noting, they did save the Saloon gen this time, and especially with Yun. Oh, this gen is so close to being done, but Steve in a whole bunch of trouble here, going around very bold, but they will get this pallet. Hold it back over, but they do go down. And, well, this This Survivor has, they have not been Scourge Hook yet, so that might be the worst case scenario. However, the Survivor did die on a Scourge Hook. I don't, oh, but they get instead of a Scourge Hook.
Yeah, looking like no Scourge Hook there, so Wraith is going to get a central hook instead. Looking around for Survivor, seeing if maybe they can find the reset point, but so far no sign of them.
Yeah, Survivor is able to get that free reset. And without a Scourge Hook, they need to go back and kick this gen, I think, because if a Survivor sneaks back there, that gen is easy to finish. And then you've got Gallows potentially on the line. However, I think you can only give up one more hook stage, especially if this kill is getting a lot of fresh hooks. It's going to make the same score as last game, I think.
So, one thing to note there, Gallows has already been finished, so that's 2 gens remaining with Gallows still, with Gallows now finished. Water Wheel was not very well progressed, especially as we did see it get hit by Scourge Hook Pain Resonance when it was at pretty low progression as is. And though now at 2, almost 3 sills here, looks like Wraith will get the hit and potentially a quick down resulting in another Scourge Hook.
Possible. Well, Cheryl's already been Scourge Hooked.
Oh, that's right.
So, not the case. And yeah, I misspoke. I would definitely meant a Saloon Gen. Saloon Gen being the safest here is the Wraith does have, like, the speed, but not the verticality. Yeah, but I say that's not going to be a fake, and that will be second hook coming in. So, as of right now, I think all the Survivors have to be able to get out of this game alive. If they do not get out of the game alive here, I think it's just a game over.
I believe you are correct, and that is going to be quite the tall order. We do see the Yoon Gen trying to complete this gen. Wraith going to go in for the 2.5% on the dry kick, and we will see the 0.3% regression thereafter. Wraith with the fake, and the mind game will get the down at the pallet.
Yeah, but I say, and actually, they could hook there, and I think that's enough for the win con, but they want to go for the full win here. Surprising, I thought that gen had more progress on it. I guess I was wrong. It looks like, yeah, Steve is going to be on the top gen. So, yeah, Unbreakable not being here, I think this might be the 4K we're looking at. I think Steve, yeah, because he's not balanced landing, it's Yoonjin. Was that a missed call-out?
I think that may have been that or Steve just trying to get the gen completed. That being said, Wraith will get the down and Steve will get hooked here, resulting in what could be a 4K at 3 gens completed. Now, mind you, we still do have a Survivor on the ground, primed and ready for a potential bleed out if the Wraith is unable to find them.
True, but regardless, the win con has been met, even if this bleed out does occur. Barring they have, like, I don't know, like 10 penalties, but yeah, just Survivors had a really good start. I hate to put the blame on one particular point, but not being able to hook trade for the A's, that might have been the nail in the coffin. They needed that Survivor to stay alive just a little bit longer.
Unfortunately, I would tend to agree. I think that was the turning point for the Wraith, as the Survivors had a lot of pressure if the Ace was still in the match all the while. I think they may have been able to complete 1, if not 2 more gens, but with them being sent back to Campfire via the Entity a little bit early, things did turn in the Wraith's favor. That being said, GG, well played to both teams, and congratulations to Tremor for walking away victorious here in round number 3 of Season 8 of Champions of the Fog.